Thank you to the nominees for being here. I'm sorry that I was unable to preside, but in the capable hands of my colleague, Peter Welch. Judge Lopez, would you like to complete that sentence you were starting about the support you have from prosecutors as well as defenders?
Certainly, Senator, thank you. What I was indicating is that I have broad support, including from several victims' organizations, the Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence, which represents all of the domestic violence service organizations in the state of Maine, as well as the support of the Maine Coalition Against Sexual Assault, which represents the sexual assault organizations in Maine, as well as support from prosecutors, law enforcement, and I believe that is reflective both of the work I did as a prosecutor on behalf of crime victims and the care that I take with victims in my role as a judge.
And you've presided over approximately 21 trials, civil, misdemeanor, and felony matters?
Yes, Senator.
70% were jury trials and 30% were bench trials. And I take it that the endorsements which you received reflect on your entire career, not on any one specific case.
That's correct, Senator.
That's the difference between the real world and this committee. If you have said something in high school in this committee, be prepared to defend it. And it may define your life for some members of the committee, not for me. I think there's much more to life than one ruling or one observation in an article or whether you were an advisory member of some committee. Ms. Campbell, that's the situation you face, is it not, with this organization that's been the subject of questioning today? Could you explain your relationship with that organization?
Thank you, Senator. Approximately 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, I served for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, on an advisory board for an organization that was at that time getting off the ground, and I understood it to be a nonprofit group that would help low-wage workers by providing them with information about their legal rights. And that was something that I supported and volunteered my time for. In recent years, I have not had any involvement with that group because I believe that they have strayed into the political sphere rather than staying with their original mission to support workers. And so I'm not involved with them anymore, Senator.
Did you represent them as a lawyer?
No, Senator.
So though your photo may appear at their website, that does not suggest that you misled this committee?
Correct, Senator. I'm open in that I served on an advisory board early on in my career.
I wonder how many of us as United States senators, where our parties every 4 years issue a platform taking positions on issues, would like to be held accountable for every aspect of those platforms because we're members of the party. You know, when it gets right down to it, if I don't write it, and if I don't say it, and I don't subscribe to it, I shouldn't be held accountable for it, period. And yet, there seems to be a double standard when it comes to nominees before this committee. If you were part of an organization which at any point put out a press release, you're being asked to defend it. It's okay to be asked, but I think there reaches a point where it's unreasonable to subscribe every single thought uttered by some other person as your own. Each of us have a right to stand up and say what we truly believe in. Tell me, Ms. Campbell, about your experience when it comes to serving in court and as a lawyer and the kind of support that you have.
Thank you, Senator. I largely have a plaintiff's side practice, and it has been my privilege to represent folks from across the state of Tennessee, a lot of low-wage workers, federal benefit trust funds and fiduciaries of those funds who are helping to protect pensions for workers. I have represented victims of crimes. Recently, I have represented district attorneys general across the state of Tennessee in civil litigation, and some of my clients have provided letters to this committee as well.
Do you have the support of prosecutors as well as defense bar?
Yes, Senator.
Those are a matter of record for
Yes, Senator.
those who want to read them. Mr. Chairman, I yield.